This is Mike Roth. Welcome to the Open Forum in the Villages podcast. In this show, we're going to talk to leaders in the community, leaders of clubs, and interesting folks who live here in the villages to give a perspective of what's happening here in the villages and information that I think all villagers should have. We hope to add a new episode most Fridays at 9 o'clock. We are making a change soon. All of our shows will be distributed by a single podcast syndicator, Buzzsprout, both the old shows and the new show. We are also changing our subscription plans. Now you will be a supporter by simply making a subscribing via Buzzsprout. You can make a contribution of any amount that you'd like. We'd suggest $3 a month. If that's too much for your budget, you can pay less, or if you're really enjoying what we're doing and want to see us continue, you can pay more. This is going to be a subscriber-supported podcast. We are making this conversion to make it easier for everybody. And all of the subscriber-only episodes that were available on Apple Podcasts will now be converted to the Buzzsprout channel, and everyone can go ahead and listen to those. This is Mike Roth on Open Forum in the Villages. I'm here today with Tom McKee, the owner of Total Recon in Leesburg. Tom's company does all kinds of automotive cosmetic services. And Tom, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about what you've done before you opened Total Recon?
Mike, thanks for having me. And let me go over a little bit of what background I have and my time before Total Recon. I was an automotive collision and master paint technician early on. I went for certification and training. Started the Total Recon business as a sideline, and then it kind of grew to the point of where it is today. There's a huge demand for the services that we offer, and having the background and paint background and automotive cosmetics is a great fit for what we do.
Good. Tom, in every show I like to start with a joke for my grandson, Evan. Here's one for you. Tom, what do you call a famous turtle?
Famous turtle. I don't know, Mike. Why don't you enlighten me?
A celebrity.
A celebrity. Very nice. I like it.
Okay. Tom, at Total Recon, I first ran into you when you were offering services for ceramic sealants on cars.
Correct.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's happened on sealants for cars. It started off, 40, 50 years ago with wax and carnauba wax, and then these polymer coatings, and then the ceramics, and then even something called graphene. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about why ceramics are the best type of coating to put on your car?
Sure. Well, the benefit of ceramic over the wax or polymer, wax has a very short service life, about 6 weeks or so, and the protection is almost completely gone. We advanced to polymers, which gave us about 6 months of protection. And at the stage we are now with the advanced level ceramics, we're about 5 years of protection, according to the chemist. So one of the benefits is the durability. It also has tremendous protection against sunlight damage. It has an ultraviolet filter, protects your trim and your paint. Every coating on the vehicle, every surface on the vehicle is protected with the ceramic film. So just a completely different technology and level of protection versus anything else that was out there before.
Okay. A lot of people have heard about this graphene coating. What's the difference between graphene and ceramic coating?
Graphene is an additive that's included or added to the formulation. Ceramic is basically a synthetic polymer that's infused with a glass particle, which makes it much more durable, harder, more scratch resistant. Graphene is an additive as well that kind of takes it to a little bit different level, a higher level of protection. So it's a latest in technology. It's slowly being adopted in the industry. But as of right now, we're staying with the ceramic. It's a proven coating. We're testing the newer graphene coatings, and as it moves along, we may end up adding it to our repertoire of services. But right now, we're staying with the ceramic coatings. We feel comfortable with them. They're a great performing product.
Mm-hmm. Graphene is a form of graphite. Am I correct?
Correct.
And graphite is a dark gray or black material. Wouldn't that darken the appearance of many paints?
If it was included in the formula in a large volume, correct. It's a nanoparticle, so it's very, very small. It does have a tendency, when you're applying it, you can actually see the color in the applicator. So there is some color being added. The finished product is only a few microns thick, so it really doesn't have an impact or effect on the color of the vehicle. But there is actually, you can see the graphene in the formulation versus the clear color of the ceramic itself.
I've heard a lot of people talk about the hardness of different ceramic coating. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. The ceramic coatings, the clear coat on the average vehicle runs about a 3 on the hardness scale. Ceramic coatings bring it up to a 9 or even sometimes slightly higher. Graphene claims, the chemists are telling us that they're even higher still. It hasn't been in the field and proven long enough to see the durability and benefit with the graphene. I think it's going to have a very promising future, but right now, going from a 3 to a 9 on the hardness scale is a tremendous benefit and upgrade. Scratch resistant, car wash scratching, anything like that, any kind of brushes or cloths have much less tendency to scratch the finish.
If you're taking a car in for a ceramic coating and the car is not a brand new car right out of the factory, what will the ceramic coating do? The car has swirls and minor scratches.
The process before the ceramic application is really truly where the magic happens. That's called paint correction. So after the prep wash and service and the vehicle comes into the shop, we machine polish, or micro polish as it's called in the industry, the entire surface of the vehicle to prep for the ceramic application. Clay is a process that's used to remove contaminants from the paint film, the surface, and then it goes to a micro polish step and it's prepped with a isopropyl alcohol prep wash, and then the ceramic is applied. So it's a multi-step process.
What happens if a do-it-yourself installer leaves out several of those steps? Just washes the car, puts a anti-wax coat on to remove the old wax and maybe some of the iron particles, clay bars it, and then puts a cheap ceramic coating on from Amazon.
Well, there's a few issues that come up. One of the things that you always want to keep in mind is ceramic is meant to be applied in a controlled environment. So that means relative humidity, temperature, they're all critical to the performance of the finished product. We have a shop that is completely climate controlled. We have each of my detail technicians has a lift that brings the vehicle to a comfortable position for them during the application. All of these things ensure a beautiful finished product. So having it done in your driveway, having it done in a less than optimal shop environment, it's just not the best finish for the product. It's not going to perform the way it was intended to. So it's always good to have a shop that has the experience and certified training technicians and controlled environment. You're going to get the best performance and the best appearance of the vehicle.
Do you virtually need a clean room to install a ceramic coating?
The conditions have to be right for the ceramic to perform properly. If it's not a controlled environment, if there's wind or dust or anything that can be introduced into the film, it can cause scratching during application. It really has to be controlled. Temperature, airflow, and humidity have to be controlled in order to get the best benefit from the ceramic.
What's the drying time on ceramic coating?
The drying time, it flashes. The formula flashes, meaning cures pretty quickly, and then it has a continued cure over time. So it can be put back into service relatively quickly, but it continues to cure after the application. The performance improves over time.
So how much time do you have to give a car to really cure?
The manufacturer that we buy from, our supplier, they recommend we can do what's called an infrared forced cure, where we can accelerate the curing time. But if we use an air dry or oxidative cure, we're looking at about 24 hours.
Okay. So during that 24 hours, you don't want your car to be exposed to dirt and dust. It's
Correct.
Just normally in the air.
Correct. Moisture as well. So any condensation, if it's left outside, we don't want it to get wet during that period. There's also a protective coating that's applied over the ceramic called a hydrophobic coating, and that enhances the performance of the whole system. Also protects it from staining or anything during the cure cycle. So it's an important part of the process.
And how long will a ceramic coating that you apply last?
You hear in the industry, you'll hear warranties or claims of warranties anywhere from 5 to 7 to 10 years. Some of them are even lifetime. Most of them are marketing. According to the chemists that we work with, 5 years of full protection as far as being hydrophobic, water beating, which is a great indicator of the performance. 5 years is a very, very good warranty, and it's something that the company will stand behind. Anything longer than that is, most of it is marketing.
And are there any maintenance operations that have to be done on the ceramic coating after it's applied?
Minimal. The maintenance after the installation is very, very little. There's no product that has to be applied. There's detail spray with a quick rinse off with some water, either if a little bit more if there's some dirt or anything that might be on the vehicle. A pH neutral car wash soap is a great product to use to get the car prepped, and then you just wipe it down with a microfiber drying towel or a chamois. And then if there's anything that's left over, you can use a detail spray and give it a quick polish, and it's good to go. There's no product that has to be applied.
You mentioned car washing, and Matt Moorman of Obsessed Garage was on and talked about the waterless car wash product that he has that you dilute and spray on the car and then towel off in small sections. Are you familiar with those kinds of products, Tom?
Yes, they've been on the market for a period of time. It's a good product. You have to be careful because you don't want to use a product on a car that's not rinsed or clean. Even though they're waterless, there's an abrasive on the surface of the paint. And if you're not careful, and there's a good chance that you can scratch the finish. So you want to be very careful with using those products.
Mm-hmm. Tom, a lot of our listeners here in the villages don't want to wash the cars themselves. What do you suggest that they do, or where should they take their car to be washed?
Any manufacturer of a product, even the vehicle manufacturers themselves, are cautious with having a customer take a vehicle through an automated car wash system. It can be abrasive. There's no way to control the vehicle that just went in front of you as far as the contamination on the cleaning brushes or pads. So it's very, very risky to run a car through an automatic car wash. It's not to say that it can't be done, but the risk of scratching the vehicle is much higher. The best option is to do either a self-wash and a car wash system, or to wash it yourself with a pH-neutral car wash soap, and then rinse it with clean water, towel dry it immediately.
I always get this question from people at least once a month. I can't wash the car myself anymore. Where should I take it?
Right. Some of the new technology, some of the automatic systems are very good. The brushes actually use a foam, which is a very soft compound, so it has less of a tendency to scratch the vehicle. The newer car wash systems, the ones that are coming around and being constructed, and they do a very good job and very minimal scratching, so we kind of recommend our customers to use them.
Talking about the Mr. Clean car washes?
Yes, the newer car washes that we're seeing on the different areas in the villages.
Mm-hmm. Tom, can you tell us what the benefit is of dealing directly with the company owner, you, versus a franchise employee in many other places?
Sure. Dealing directly with the owner of the owner of the business, you're dealing, if there's any issues or concerns after or during the installation, you're dealing directly with the person that can make a decision to correct the condition or knows what needs to be done, get in touch with the correct people. If you have a vendor that sends out a technician or a franchise owner that sends out a technician, you're dealing with layers before you find resolution. So I find my customers after 30 years, they like the benefit of dealing directly with the owner. If there's a phone issue or a telephone call that needs to be done, Tom is only a phone call away. We're open 6 days a week, so we're there if they have any questions or concerns. And they feel comfortable leaving their vehicles with us because they know that it's actually with the owner of the business.
Mm-hmm. Now, your business is located in Leesburg, which is not very far from the villages. In fact, some people would say we are building homes in the villages in Leesburg.
Yes, very much so.
What is the advantage to the village resident of doing business with someone who's in Leesburg?
Convenience is a big factor. I hear from many of our customers, and we have over 3,000 customers now. The majority of them are villages residents. Convenience is a big factor. Taking a car to Orlando or to Ocala, for example, it's by the time rides are secured and everything else that has to come together, not to mention the background and the reviews that our company shows and just the overall customer experience. There's a lot of advantages to having us in close proximity.
Mm-hmm.
Even any other type of work, we align with mechanics and body shops and try and keep it local so it's convenient for our customers.
Now, why don't you tell us about what you guys do in terms of paintless auto body repair, dentless auto
paintless dent repair. Correct. Sure.
Repair, right?
Yeah, that's a service that I began to offer many, many years ago. I was actually, my first year in business was 1995. And I started off with dent repair training was my first service that I offered to customers, in addition to having a collision and restoration shop. So what it does basically is it allows us to repair the vehicle in many cases without having to do filler or body or paint work, which is a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Original paint stays on the vehicle, warranty stays with the manufacturer. There's no gray area. Was the body shop responsible? Who is responsible if there's an issue with the repair? So paintless dent removal is a great process.
Now, does that also work on cars that have had ceramic coatings?
Yes. Yeah. They're completely cross-compatible. So anything that's ceramic coated can use paintless dent removal. Also, if a car is ceramic coated, it can still have paint repairs done, traditional body shop type paint repairs. It doesn't prevent anything from being able, if it has to be resprayed, it can. And we can go ahead and reinstall the ceramic after.
Okay. And Tom, let's talk for a moment about wheel rash repair.
Okay.
One of my favorite subjects. A lot of villagers run into curbs.
Yeah, the roundabouts they have a tendency to cause some damage on some wheels.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not only the roundabouts, just the curbs that are in the wrong place.
Yes.
Or they're too high.
Yes.
And they damage the wheels. Tell us how you guys repair curb rash.
Sure. We have a process to remove the curb rash damage, and then we have a system where we can custom color match the coating on the wheel so it matches exactly how the factory had it applied. It's a great service. It saves huge amounts over replacing the wheel in many cases. Most all wheels are candidates for cosmetic repair. If it's a structural issue, I will recommend not to repair it, but we can align them with a repair shop that can replace the wheel. So we don't do tire mounting and balancing, but we have companies that we work closely with.
Okay. And the next service that I'd like you to talk a little bit about are convertible tops.
Sure. We currently have 2 full-time install technicians for convertible tops, and in addition to custom interiors and anything basically on the interior aspect of the vehicle. So convertible tops convertibles as a rule are very popular in the villages, so we see a lot of the replacement tops coming through. The heat and the sun in Florida, they take a toll on the tops. They don't last nearly as long as they might in other parts of the country. So we're very busy with replacement convertible tops, but we offer tops for any vehicle basically. We can do a custom top. If need be, we can order a factory replacement top, and we have the ability to install them with a warranty.
Now, Tom, the convertible tops naturally are made out of a cloth material. Is there a ceramic coating for them?
There is a protectant for it. It's part of our ceramic product line. The company we work with has a product for most every coating, or every finish rather, on the vehicle. Interior, exterior, soft top, glass, plastic trim, even your headlamps and tail lamps are protected. So there's a coating for basically every surface on the vehicle.
So when you're doing the exterior of a car, you're actually doing the plastic headlamps and the rear tail lights with a different product than the metal?
A polish process and then a ceramic sealant, very much like the ceramic sealant for the paint. There's a coating for different pieces or parts on the vehicle, so everything has a specific product that's applied to it. Even the tires have protection on the ceramic level.
Tires?
Yes.
And what about the vinyl or leather on the interior of the car?
There's a product for that as well. There's a specific product in the ceramic line for leather. They're nanoprotectants is what their group does, and that technology is relatively new. Nano has only been around for maybe 20 years or so, but it's a great performing product. It doesn't leave a sticky or glossy surface. It absorbs into the material and it does the job very, very well.
So it doesn't change the reflectivity of the dashboard?
Doesn't change the gloss level, doesn't change the feel of it. The leather stays the same. It just creates a hydrophobic or water-beating performance on the surfaces. So the floor mats, the carpeting, your center console, your dashboard, all are protected.
And what about glass?
Glass as well. Glass, there's a coating for glass also. We apply it during the part of the ceramic detail process. It's included, actually. Mm-hmm. We include a lot of our services. We include what other competitors don't. So a lot of our services are all inclusive.
Okay. And on the interior of cars, seats tend to get worn and the vinyl or leather tends to crack or break. How do you guys handle that?
We have in-house, with the services that we provide, we have the ability to either recondition leather and vinyl, or if it needs to be done, we can replace it. We can do a section repair, or we can replace entire seats. We actually do many, many custom interiors. We also do factory replacement covers and seats, headliners also. Anything that the car might need on a cosmetic level, we have in-house ability to perform.
So you don't handle the repair of the convertible top mechanism?
Mechanically, we normally sublet them to the repair shops. The dealers are one option. We also have some mechanical repair shops that are very, very skilled in diagnosing and repairing the hydraulic and mechanical systems.
What do you can you work with a customer who needs a small section of their car repainted to match the factory color?
Yes, if it's what's considered a micro or spot repair, we have the ability to do that using an airbrush system. Anything larger, we would sublet or send out to one of our body shops and have it repaired, and then we can go ahead and do any finish or detail work after that work is complete.
And how do you match the color?
There's a computer camera system that will actually take a scan of your vehicle, give us an exact formula, no matter the year, model, vintage cars, even up to brand new vehicles. We can custom color match the color. So we have an exact match for the finished product.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to a Mercedes-Benz repair shop, body shop in Gainesville the other day, and we were looking at a flat finish silver car in front of the shop. And I said to him, how do you refinish that? And he kind of laughed and he said, there are 9 shades of that color.
Correct. Yeah. Most of the colors on vehicles today have many, many different variants of the same formula, meaning that your car may be slightly different from the car right next to it. So that's a big issue in the industry for refinishing.
Yeah.
And the matte finishes that are out there and popular, they just add another level of complexity to getting an undetectable finished product.
So if a customer has a matte finish car, can you put a ceramic coating on, which is shiny?
The ceramic product for a matte finish car is a different formulation. It doesn't change the appearance. It just gives the protection that the customer needs and is looking for, but it doesn't change. There's a specific ceramic product for matte finish vehicles.
So it would stay matte finish?
It would, absolutely. It doesn't change the appearance, or it just enhances the protection and actually offers all the protection of any other ceramic system that we install.
Mm-hmm. Are there any particular brands of cars that are more difficult to put a ceramic coating on than others?
No, not necessarily. Some of them, the new Corvettes, for example, have a lot of complex curves in the body design, so you have to be very careful. We have micro polishers, very small polishers that fit into tight areas. My technicians are certified and trained, so we work on many, many different vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Over at Total Recon, how many technicians do you have on payroll?
We have 6 technicians full-time, and we also have administrative up front, and then I'm in the shop as well overseeing the operation. So we have a pretty good size. We have 7,000 square feet, and a climate-controlled environment makes a big difference for the employee comfort and also for the quality of the finished product.
Why don't you tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you after they've listened to this podcast?
Sure. We're located on 27 in Leesburg, and our address is 411 North 14th Street. And our telephone number is area code 352-535-0299. And you can reach us anytime. We're busy, but my wife works up front. She's the administrator, so she's able to answer the phone. And we'd be happy to. Estimates don't require appointments, so always happy to look at a vehicle. And a lot of times we'll put a wish list together for a customer, which is nice.
Do you have a website?
We do. Our website is www.totalrecon.biz. B-I-Z, and there's many photos on there. There's a lot of before and after photos. Mm-hmm. We also have, I believe, over 100 photos on our Google listing as well. So if you do a search for us on Google, it'll have a section for images, and you can take a look at the work that we've done.
The before and after.
Yes.
Yeah. I know Greg Pangian, he did some work on his 25-year-old Rolls Royce.
Correct. Yes.
And he just couldn't stop talking about how good it looked.
Well, that was a vehicle that was interesting. We had to do a custom color match for that color because of the age of the vehicle. And the repair that was on there was complex because it was in an interesting area. It had damaged the tail lamp area and as well as the rear trunk. So it was just a very challenging area to get the repair correct. Greg was very happy. It was undetectable when it was finished.
No, it was absolutely like new.
Yeah, he was very happy. Our customers leave very happy. And that's what makes me happy as a business owner, seeing the satisfaction when we're delivering their vehicles. We take photos with the customers, and it's just nice. After 30 years, it's nice to see that.
As people are driving up to your shop, it's kind of an unusual location because the address is not directly on the street. Why don't you tell them what is in front on 14th Street in Leesburg, so they know that that's the correct driveway to turn into?
Sure. That's a good question, Mike. Actually, we're located in a warehouse park, and at the very front of our entrance driveway is a company called Floors of Distinction, which is a carpet and flooring store. So as you're coming down or up 27, you're going to look for that landmark. They have a huge yellow sign out front. You really can't miss their building. Pull into the service driveway alongside their building, and we are directly behind their building. So that is an easier landmark. Your navigation is going to basically leave you right in front of the entrance to our warehouse park. So when you see the Floors of Distinction building, pull into their driveway, and behind their building there's 4 other businesses, ours being one of them.
Thanks very much, Tom, for being on Open Forum of the Villages. And listeners, if you have a cosmetic car repair, take it to Tom. He's done several on my car.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity.
We are making a change soon. All of our shows will be distributed by a single podcast syndicator, Buzzsprout, both the old shows and the new show. We are also changing our subscription plans. Now you will be a supporter by simply making a subscribing via Buzzsprout. You can make a contribution of any amount that you'd like. We'd suggest $3 a month. If that's too much for your budget, you can pay less, or if you're really enjoying what we're doing and want to see us continue, you can pay more. This is going to be a subscriber-supported podcast. We are making this conversion to make it easier for everybody. And all of the subscriber-only episodes that were available on Apple Podcasts will now be converted to the Buzzsprout channel, and everyone can go ahead and listen to those. Remember, our next episode will air live Friday at 9 a.m. on our regular subscriptions. Should you want to become a sponsor of the show, contact me at mike@rothvoice.com. This is a call out and thank you. to my supporters, to Alvin Stengel and Ed Williams and Dr. Craig Curtis at K2 The Villages. We'll be hearing more from K2 later in future episodes, as they are now a major supporter. If you know someone that you think should be on the show, send me an email at mike@rothvoice.com. I want to thank everyone for listening to the show. The content of the show is copyright by Roth Voice 2023, all rights reserved.